gathered here in the name of something, I would say spiritual and sacred. We want to thank Nate and Theresa Berman and offer our blessings upon them, because the way they have done is truly a great miss. But I remember the first year I was here, somebody took me around and I saw Berman buckskin, and they built not only their business, not only their family, and not only the wider community, but specifically the Minnesota Jewish Upper Northwest Historical Society. I told this to Naomi Kestenbaum a year and a half ago when we were looking for someone to endow the whole library. As we were walking out, she said, "What do you think?" I said, "The only family whose name is worthy to be here is the Berman family. They belong to the state, to the Jewish community, helped to build it. Both Nate and Theresa, the litany of praise, but it falls far short of what they have done and what they mean in this community." Theresa was there from the very beginning. In fact, it might have very well been her idea. And we honor deeply Nate and Theresa Berman for really not only an outstanding gift, but a meaningful gift, a gift that will yield fruit year after year to help coming generations remember that being Jewish is something special. Amen.
May this child be strong enough to know when he is weak and brave enough to face himself when he is afraid. Send him not only in the path of ease and comfort, but also in the spur of difficulty and challenge. Here, let him learn to stand up in the storm. Here, let him learn to have compassion on all life.
We also want to acknowledge the fact that Nate is not here today, but would have served with Theresa in the role of playing Sunday as he has in the past. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'ehyanu v'kiyamanu v'hidyanu l'zman hazeh.
In July of this year, Mr. and Mrs. Berman made a substantial gift to support the Upper Midwest Jewish Archive. This is one of the largest contributions ever made to the University of Minnesota in support of archival collections. The materials contained in the archives illuminate for scholars and the general public the creation and nourishment of the Jewish community of the region and the contributions of Jews to the life of the whole community. With this remarkable endowment, Nathan and Theresa Berman have ensured both the future of the Jewish Historical Society of the Upper Midwest and the Nathan and Theresa Berman Upper Midwest Jewish Archives. The University of Minnesota is forever grateful. Thank you.
The name Berman, of course, was well known in business and Jewish circles. I remember my first conversation with Theresa, which began with her saying, "I've been concerned about Jewish studies at the university, and I was wondering if there was anything I could do to help." What I came to understand as our relationship developed was that I was dealing with really extraordinary people, deeply devoted to their state, their university from which they graduated, and their religious community. And I can say that having been privileged to know the Bermans, particularly this Eshet Chayil, Theresa Berman, this has been one of the high points of my career, one of life's wonderful, wonderful surprises.
Theresa, you should start squirming now, because I'm going to do my best to make you squirm more. When I first met the two of them, Nate approached me and said, "Ma shlomcha?" How are you, in Hebrew? Blew me away. We had a brief Hebrew conversation. He was just down to earth, friendly, interested in Hebrew, as you can imagine. The answer, "Ma shlomcha," is now, with thanks to Nate and Theresa, "Shalom lanu." With your help, we're fine. Thank you.
gathered tonight to honor Nathan and Theresa Berman for their vision and commitment to saving and sharing regional Jewish history. We're sorry that Nate could not attend. Theresa was the embodiment of what in the 1950s was called the citizen volunteer. She served as vice president of National Council of Jewish Women back in 1947 when they started the first Golden Age Club. And when she was president in 1952, president of council, they inaugurated something called Council House in downtown Minneapolis, which was a clubhouse for seniors. It was the first one in Minneapolis. This work led to her appointment to the Governor's Council on Aging, and then to the board of the United Way, where she worked on problems related to aging. She also began her affiliation with the Minneapolis Jewish Federation, serving as Women's Division President and culminating as the first female president of the Minneapolis Jewish Federation in 1978 to 80. Back in the late 1960s, Theresa, I believe along with Hyde, tried to start a Jewish Historical Society. In 1984, the society was born. She was the first president. The rest, as they say, is history. We've grown beyond her expectations. Theresa has been gracious and helpful in all our undertakings, even allowing her face to be slathered with rubber latex so that an artist could make a mold of it for usage in our famed Jewish women's exhibit. Thank you, Theresa.
Over the breath.
As our joyful prayer is said, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Thank you.
This evening's celebration of the largest of the Berman family, a sacred one actually, of remembering history and linking it, as you have heard from so many, to Nate and Theresa. Their extraordinary contributions, endowing lectureships, a professorship, helping build institutional life, both religious and cultural, all in keeping with their elegant style and their clear vision. I will always consider it a vast privilege, and a humble one too, to have been their rabbi for a decade and a half. For they were the very model of committed, imaginative, and gracious builders of our faith community. I join all of you then in saluting them for their exceptional generosity, their unending graciousness, and for me especially, their inspiring hope for this community, symbolized by this gift. May they be blessed always, as they have blessed us throughout the decades.
I was squirming, I still am. I'm particularly pleased, Rabbi Citrin, that it was you who presented us with your remarks, because you've known our family, our entire family, for so many years. I only regret that it wasn't possible for Nate to be with us tonight, because after all, it was he who made this possible. I'm most appreciative of all the speakers who were so overly generous with their remarks that I absolutely don't know what to say. The professors especially, with whom I have worked and whom I greatly admire. Because, as you heard, I spent decades working in the area of aging. It is only natural that I wanted to preserve the records of the many seniors who contributed so very much to both the Jewish and the larger community. In November of 1984, we could not have imagined that today our archives would be in this very beautiful building, with appreciation to you, Governor Anderson. When we began to establish our archives, Leo Gross and I attempted to secure $1,000 family memberships, and we were told that it could not be done. But here we are today with over 135 family memberships who provide the base for our budget today, aside from our memberships. So both Nate and I anticipate that the society will grow from strength to strength. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Maybe we'll go and look at Treasures Island, that story that's